the synchronization coming in from the top side, because there's a lot of dive coming in, right? You have Gragas, you have Lee Sin, you have Vex, you have Nautilus. So if they can get access onto this fairly immobile backline, this could be very devastating for J Team moving on through the game. But for Beyond Gaming, it is also a big risk that they are taking.
Okay, so we'll see how these two compositions do run out right here. Going into the level 1s, always worthy to mention. Beyond Gaming do have some of the most creative level 1 setups and highest first blood rates out of the PCS, sitting at 83% right here. But for the level 1, we will have J-Team placing a ward right in front of Husha. Both teams should know that vision is there. And on the flip side, we do not have Beyond Gaming answering back that ward.
Yeah, it will be pretty conservative start, surprisingly, coming in from Beyond Gaming, but they will be able to sweep out the ward up in that top side. They actually pulled Kino all the way over to make that roam. So, you know, at the very least, utilizing the red trinkets to its fullest. And I think when it comes to this early game, it's going to be about Kongria being able to stamp out any aggression Husha wants to commit here, because they have a decent amount of CC, right? You have the Nautilus and you have a Gragas, so a decent setup for Lee Sin to really make an impact in these lanes. And Kongria, you know, you have scaling on your side, you just need to make sure this Lee Sin doesn't get ahead.
So I think Husha, as you said, most likely heading to the bot side. It does seem to be the only lane where he is expected to get some ganks off. In the meantime, we do have an assisted start from Kongria onto the bottom. As you mentioned, most likely just going to speed up into that onslaught of shadows right here. Mid lane, we have seen this matchup a couple times before, and I just want to say, from my memory, it does not go very well for the Vex. It typically does get pushed in right here. And in the top lane as well, Driver hitting that early level 2, going to go in onto Liang. He does take some damage back, but you know, this is a lane where typically it's just a neutralizing lane for Gragas. You don't expect him to win this one out either.
Yeah, certainly don't expect the Gragas to hard win this lane, and it's about being able to constantly bounce these waves back to prevent Tryndamere from crashing these towers. And so far, Beyond Gaming, a strong 2v2 in this bottom lane, performing up to par.
Yeah, we did see a good poke coming in from Wako. Just a thing to point out, he is running the Arcane Comet, so those Qs will start to stack up. Hurt quite a bit with the piercing arrows right here. They have controlled the bot lane minion wave. And now we do have Husha coming in for a potential gank right here. Uniboy already at half HP. Minji just about to get his passive off. Can they land the fear? Minji is going in, but Uniboy hits the brush before he can get anything to land. Husha shows himself, and Uniboy stays safe.
Yeah, and it's just really good positioning coming in from Uniboy, understanding where his jungler was and where Husha was, and now a lot of return damage. The mana is a little bit low, so I don't think they're going to be able to find lethal unless Kongria really wants to push for this dive. But he understands if he does that.
Oh, the Comet takes him down! Wako cannot stop laughing at this one. We've seen this play from the previous series in CFO. Nautilus always found the dredge line. Driver this time around, knowing the jungler is on the map, wants to get something back for Leon, but Leon will stay alive here. And the woes of Little V Xayah versus the Nautilus continues into the second series.
Oh man, he was just eating hook after hook, but now Driver possibly out of position. Liang trying to take an aggressive posturing as we get to see the replay. Yeah, Lil V in our previous series just could not dodge Koala's hooks, and this time it remains true. And I mean, his positioning in the lane was a little bit suspect, right? Wasn't hiding behind those minions, and we do enter a bit of a pause. So we'll see what the pause is up. But Lil V not looking great so far, Clement.
Yeah, we do have to mention that the strategy from CFO in the last series was just to first rotation pick Nautilus every single game because they were doing so well on the dredge lines against the Zaya from Little V, like he was unable to flash away or even use his Feather Storm a lot of times in that series. So we'll see if Little V can regain his confidence, but it's not looking good so far. I think if you looked at that play, he also panic flashed a little bit too early, didn't save it for the Q, which the piercing arrow, which also has the execute. That's the one you really want to dodge, not necessarily the auto attack.
Yeah, and I mean, Lil V, it's surprising to see him underperform because he is the most senior member left on J Team, right? With a lot of the previous members departing, Driver, you know, yes, he's been on the team for a decent amount of time, but at the same time, he wasn't a starter. So he wasn't that mainstay player on stage. And Lil V, you expect a lot more from him. Unfortunately, starting out a bit cold. Not sure if it's a carryover from the previous series, or maybe he's just not had a good week.
Hopefully he returns to form. Just a small reminder, Little V is always going to be going into the Hall of Fame because he did take down FPX and LWX back in 2019. Made LWX look like a complete noob. So, you know, he's always going to have a special place in our hearts. But unfortunately, this playoffs has been incredibly rough for him. And I do want to talk about maybe the strategical shift that we could see coming, because J Team in the past, at least I think in the first half of the split, was very much focused on Little V being that hyper carry. With Little V being in the form he is right now, do you think J Team need to shift elsewhere? It just looks kind of hard for him to keep the same role.
Yeah, I mean, in the first series, we saw a lot of utility champions coming out from Driver, a lot of weak side play. So I think in this series, I mean, they've already started out with Driver getting his hands onto the Tryndamere, so I think the approach is
and
so different.
Gonna go in with the flash, a little bit unexpected since both sides clearly knew that multiple members were here. Sorry to cut you off on that one, but it will just be a flash for flash trade, slightly in favor of J Team.
Yeah, I would heavily favor J Team in that instance, right? Because even though they burned the flash and the ghost onto Kongyue, you're not very concerned about those summoners, right? Because the ghost is going to come up a lot faster, and also when you are playing the set, you're perfectly comfortable running with the Hex Flash, at least in the lane phase, because you get a lot more, honestly, a lot more lane pressure from having your flash down than having it up.
Always can Hex Flash through weird angles right there. We are going to see J Team now heading towards the bottom side, trying to catch people out. As you mentioned, Enzo with the Hex Flash still has a good chance of starting something here, but Husha is unspotted. Oh, there he goes.
There he is.
Kongyue sees him right now, and that should be the end of the play as we see both sides now backing off.
Yeah, and so far, Kongyue looking very good on the Hecarim, doing what we expected him to do, and that is just continue to outpace this Lee Sin and make sure that this Lee Sin doesn't have a ton of impact. And so far, 6.5 minutes, it's, you know, not a lot of time on the clock, but you have a 1 level advantage, and Husha, he's not going to hit level 6 anytime soon, so I think you're very comfortable if you are at the side of J Team here.
I just want to toot our own horns for a little while because we did predict how the lanes would go quite well. Driver has an advantage here in the top side. We have Beauty Boy pushing in. But in the bottom side, Wako continues to be the main win condition for Beyond Gaming. I think he's been the best performing member on the squad throughout their playoff games. And for a side note, he also is the main carry with 29.8% of the team's damage. Damage being dished out from this position alone. So Wako off to a good start. Definitely something Beyond Gaming fans want to see. In the meantime, we do have that level 6 gank that we've been anticipating coming in. It doesn't look like Kongyue is going to go for it. Maybe if Wako steps up just a little bit, there would be an opportunity here. But Kongyue does make the back in the end. I do want to ask your opinion on where do you think this first crucial ultimate is going to go for the side of Kongyue's Hecarim?
Yeah, I mean, for Kongyue, the clear target is either the mid or the bot lane. And bot lane, you would love to be able to kill and try and slow down this Varus, right? But the issue is, Lil V is just so far behind, so it's one of those things where you'd love to gank it, but if I gank it, it goes wrong, then it goes really, really wrong, right? Because then all of a sudden you've
Yeah.
pretty much knocked your own bot lane out of the game. So it's a very high risk play if he decides to go into that bot lane. But at the same time, this mid lane, Vex can be very difficult to lock down because of the CC and the shielding coming in from her kit.
We are going to see Kongyue drop 2 pinks into the top side and start the Herald.
Man,
but this does leave bot side rather open right here, as we do see multiple members going there. Kongyue going to go for Minji, does find the fear, and Uniboy unleashes the power unleashed there for the kill. They do head over towards mid lane and now start onto the Herald in the meantime. Beyond Gaming trying to equalize by taking down the bot side tower.
Yeah, they should be able to get a lot of these plates, but just because it was full 4 current plates in that bot lane at the moment, I don't think they'll be able to burn it down. So that's why they've already rotated Huxia over to the Dragon, so they are able to sort of trade 2 objectives for 1 in that instance, but Minji ends up falling, and that's big because now Uniboy, 20 CS lead, now has a 1 kill to his name as well. The Uniboy is set up very, very well to succeed in this early game.
Now J-Team heading straight for the top side. Liang cannot even hold his own tower at this point. J-Team, if they take an extra plate, Herald could just go down, but Liang's going to step up here, make sure his second plate doesn't go over. He still is holding on to that explosive cast in case he needs it right here. So we'll see a little bit of trading back and forth, very light from both sides here. Liang getting the better of this trade. And it does seem like overall, Beyond Gaming actually don't fare too bad overall for that trade, because they do pick up 2 plates on the bottom side. And now we have Wako coming in with a 10-minute Eclipse Mythic Power Spike.
He is certainly ahead of the curve. Here is, if you look on the other side, Lil V is very, very far behind. I mean, yes, he's the only thing he's really ahead of is going to be that tier stacking, but that's not going to help out a whole lot in this instance. So Wako, he's going to be dominating this bot lane even more so, and we'll see if Kongyue is able to influence the spot side now that his second ultimate is now up and available.
See if he goes into the bot lane, or will he continue to go for
Man.
Minji?
Oh,
Uniboy finds the stun directly into the unleashed power ultimate. Minji keeps his distance right here, and Kongyue will not chance the ultimate. Minji still has a TP if he wants to go back to take it, but he's very close into kill range. We have Huxia popping over the wall. Doesn't find the Sonic Blast, and the 3-man rotation from Beyond Gaming will stop this aggression from Kongyue.
Yeah, but at the same time, they've had to rotate extra resources, right? Because they've pulled the support over. And while, yes, Wako has been still pretty comfortable in this bottom side, you have to wonder if this is how the first lane phase is going to go for Minji.
Oh, okay. Kongyue goes in with the unstoppable onslaught, but only gets 1 into the back line, and it will be Wako coming up to pick up the pieces. 2 kills over to Beyond Gaming in a fight where J-Team started things.
Yeah, and that's one of the old strong points of Varus, is that he can clear waves pretty easily with that Q. But because of how far ahead he is, Lil V just can't walk up to the wave to shove back in a bit of a proactive manner. So he has to be on the reactive end, and as a result, Wako is able to make his way up into that top side and find that play.
Oh, we do have Driver popping the Ghost already. Liang is going to answer back with the explosive cast here. Things will go back to normal. Nothing too hype going to happen into the top side for sure. But taking a look at this play, I'm very surprised J-Team were the ones to pull the trigger here.
Yeah, it looked like they were tunneled in on saying, hey, we can burst out Huxia in this instance. And I mean, they were pretty close, but it was really all they could hope for. Jeez.
Oh, well, If you didn't succeed the first time, try and try again. Uniboy's going to get the first kill, and now Liang is in trouble. The Herald goes down. Liang still has a flash, but is not going to be able to use that one. Huge play for J-Team as they find the jungle, they find the top laner. That's most likely the first brick as well in this play.
And this is such a strong top half of the map now, right? Because Driver, he has a 15 CS lead. Somewhat expected there. Kongyue, he is still ahead of Husha, even though CS-wise they are very similar. But in this mid lane, that is the largest gap. Uniboy so far ahead. 20 CS lead, now 3 kills to his name. Completed Ludens, he's going to have his completed Sork boots as well. Like anyone that shows up in front of him is just going to get deleted. Even Liang, who doesn't have any sort of magic resistance stacked up, he's going to get massively chunked out too.
Oh, the damage calculations. Absolutely beautiful right there. Just spot on.
He was 100 to 0 in that moment.
He did get some help from the Krugs, but damn, that was very close. And another easy sweep pickup kill here from Uniboy. I do want to mention that Tryndamere got massive amounts of gold in that play alone. 2 towers going down. And it does feel like it's Wako against the world at this point.
Yeah, and the issue is the speed of engage coming in from J-Team is pretty hard to deal with as a Varus alone, right? You only have an ult for 1 target, but when you have a set running at you, when you have a Hecarim sprinting at you, and then you have a Ghost Tryndamere running at you, you only have 1 out. You can only lock down 1 out of 3 targets, and the other targets just are so ahead right now.
Oh, we are going to have Husha smiting down the Drake, but Driver is coming in. Will he chase over the ramp? Yes, he will. Goes in. Uniboy finds the stun, but only onto Liang, the tankiest member on the squad. And Beyond Gaming are able to back out of this one fairly unscathed. They're holding their position in the mid wave, making sure that they can escort this tower in. Meanwhile, Enzo dodges it out on the ultimate, but the dredge line hits. Now we have Kongyue going in. They don't find the kill onto Husha just yet. The Dragon's Rage is going to escort Driver away, and Beyond Gaming get away with murder.
Oh my god, what a scatter of the week coming in from Uniboy. Almost deletes 2 members just with that combo alone, but it's not enough. And now Lil V, he's back to trying to CS minions against the Varus of Wako. And man, Beyond Gaming get out by the skin of their teeth. Yes, Enzo, he sort of got caught out and it did go down, but that very much could have just been such a massive win for J-Team, and Beyond Gaming are very fortunate.
I have to agree with you. That backline, that got me sweating for a while, and Uniboy is off to the races with this 3-0-0. We've always mentioned when J-Team do well, it's because Uniboy is ahead. That win condition is very much online at this point. They are going to find the second Herald of the game. It doesn't look like Beyond Gaming have a way to engage. However, Wako is dealing a lot of damage. We did see that piercing arrow just chunk Lil V down to half HP. They're going to be making a run at the mid lane tower right here. Let's see if Uniboy can find more of those scatter the weeks here. We'll clear the entire minion wave. And it looks like Beyond Gaming right now, they have to shift gears. And I do want to ask you about this Drake fight here. Beyond Gaming, do you think they are better in the 5? Oh my god. And so nearly gets taken down just by Wako's 2 abilities. And we have Beyond Gaming very much eyeing at this Infernal Dragon Soul. They already have 2 in the back here, and if they can take the mid lane tower, that's open season for the Drake stack to happen. Do you think Beyond Gaming actually has the better team fight here?
Their team fight is pretty strong, right? Because they have more traditional front to back, slightly easier execution. But again, when you look on the other side, you have this Tryndamere, you have this Hecarim, just their only target is the Varus, right? They don't have to worry about the Vex because the Vex has somewhat been ineffective so far coming in from Minji. So their only target is to remove this Varus pick, and if they remove it early on as well, Varus wants to be able to poke at the start of fights. If you don't give him that window, makes it a lot easier for J-Team to just straight up win the 5v5.
And we'll see how J-Team can focus on to Wako here. It seems like Wako will be going for the Sorelia's Grudge here as his third item. J-Team now with the Herald looking for targets to snipe off. Maybe drop the Herald a little bit early. Don't get anything just yet, but we can tell at this point the three-man topside squad from J-Team is far stronger than what Beyond Gaming can confront at this point. Looks like J-Team are just going to be shifting around the map, trying to catch people off. They do have a lot of mobility, and nobody can contest Kongyue and Uniboy, this duo right now. Does look like they're heading for Liang's lane in the bottom side. Ping's going across everywhere, and the Herald is dropped here. Liang decides to abandon the tower and just give over the gold to Driver.
Yeah, not a whole lot that the guys can do in this instance. Being a bit left out to dry, but now with only 45 seconds until that Inferno Dragon, we'll see how Beyond Gaming come and attack this dragon, because they do need Dragon Soul to really come back into this at the moment. Just because it feels like J-Team, they're the ones to really control the map. They also really control the pace of the game, because of the only strong member on the side of Beyond Gaming is Wako, and he's constantly stuck mid trying to wave clear. So if they're able, they have so many other options to attack, you know, taking a big chunk there, and that's not going to fare well for their chances to try and get into the river for this dragon.
Kongyue also revving up on the side, just making sure that Wako plays on his toes, and they have full vision control. Husha going to be the one to face check. We have the TP from Gragas just to get into position right here. As the Drake finally will start, they find one of the flanks into Enzo, and he's gone with the face break. But did he get in too early? Minji now finds the backline. They kill Uniboy. Double kill from Liang. Enzo is also down. Driver does find Wako at the very end. But this is a one fight for Beyond Gaming. They're chasing the stragglers down. Driver trying to find a kill before he times out, but he can't get it. Minji will have a massive effect in this team fight. Beyond Gaming resoundingly win the fight and head over to Soul Point.
And it's Beyond Gaming that are able to find the catch onto Uniboy. That really knocks all, or starts knocking down all the rest of the dominoes in that team fight. We'll get to see the replay right after this, but what a massive team fight win for Beyond Gaming as they keep their game one hopes alive, setting themselves up for Soul Point. And man, things are definitely getting heated up. It looked like Enzo, he had the angle to try and engage onto Wako, but he gets knocked back, and as a result, Wako is able to survive the start of that fight. We mentioned that, hey, if Wako gets taken down, that could just be fight over. It ended up not playing out in the exact case, because yes, he did get chunked out. He was zoned off of the fight, but the rest of the team, they were able to find the kills regardless.
Let's get the POV view of Minji right
here.
Him. It's a full combo, and Uniboy doesn't get to flash or use his ultimate. So it actually ends up being Beyond Gaming with the 2-0 lead right off the bat in this critical team fight. Minji with a massive find. I love this POV right here. Essentially gets the double for Gragas, and then gets the big shutdown for himself as well.
Yeah, and we'll be not having fun still.
Kino gonna get target out right here, but it takes a fair bit of time for him to finally fall. J-Team still are gonna find the lead here, get the straggler kill, and also the mid-game tower. So in terms of the gold, J-Team, they do retake the lead after that play. The only problem is they are facing that massive potential Infernal Soul at 25 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and this is a big win condition because of it really amplifies Wako's power on this Varus, and now Driver could be caught out.
Oh, we do have the body slam onto him. Driver gonna get knocked back into a fear with Minji. Doesn't get to pop the ultimate and just falls down like that. So J-Team and Beyond Gaming, they've been doing a very good job trading blows with each other.
Yeah, Driver a little bit out of position in that instance, but still great positioning coming in from Liang, waiting patiently for Minji to get in position as well, and able to find that pick. So Beyond Gaming answer tit for tat, and them being able to stay even on gold still bodes relatively well for their chances in this mid game. Of course, we're looking at J Team having slightly better late game with the fact that the Hecarim is able to team fight a little bit better than the Lee Sin, and the Tryndamere still offers you value, although not necessarily as much as something like a Gragas. And one of the things we do also have to be aware of is one of the last times we saw Driver on this Tryndamere, he did overextend himself a little bit too deep at times with the Tryndamere pick, trying to overdive on the back line. So hopefully he doesn't commit to those instances this time around, but just something to keep track of.
I do want to point out his build as well. He is going for the Navori Quick Blades, not the Hullbreaker that is usually taken. So it does seem like to me he really wants to get into the back line, secure those kills with the extra crits and the extra uses of the E here. Once again, J-Team will have positional advantage coming into this critical Dragon Soul fight. Beyond Gaming hanging around in the peripherals. They do have 2 teleports this time around, so could find flanks that we weren't aware of, but so far it looks like both sides just happy to push in this mid, and Little V has to be a little bit careful here. Leon coming in with the engage first. They are going to start up onto Enso and Uniboy, but Wako on the other hand is about to go down. He's just alive for now, but he finally does die. Driver is still alive, and he's chopping down targets here. So in the end, it will be a 2-for-3 trade, but Little V goes down, and Uniboy is the only one alive. Super scattered fight, but once again, Beyond Gaming find their mark.
Yeah, and it's J-Team once more over-diving onto the backline of Beyond Gaming. Uniboy, I mean, he gets the deletion there, but at the same time, like, he got zoned off at the fight at the very start. Yes, he doesn't die, but he has to flash over the Raptor wall. That means there's about, like, 4 screens of distance he has to cover to get back to his team. And Syndra, not one of those champions that has any jump. So we get to see the replay here. He gets jumped, he gets knocked into the team, and he flashes over, yes, but look at where the rest of the fight is. It's all the way over at the Baron pit. He's just nowhere close to that moment, and now, I mean, J-Team, they do a good job in executing the backline, but they don't have the cooldowns to then finish off the rest of the fight.
Yeah, overall, that was a 3-for-4 fight. It did give Vision control
Dragon Soul
Beyond Gaming. And here comes the critical one. A lot of poke damage being done. Kongria down to half HP. Can he survive this one? He does have his ultimate, but not the one from Uniboy. So lacking a lot of burst damage. You do get the stun from Leon. Very tense situation as both sides are jockeying. J-Team cannot give this objective over. I feel like Beyond Gaming, just with the poke advantage, they're going to keep them there. And indeed, that's what they do right now. They're going to start back on the Infernal Dragon once more. Little V is hiding outside of Vision. The Drake will reset, giving J-Team a little bit more time to figure out their path of engage. Oh, but Little V takes HP down to half, and so he can't find the angle. He actually gets found himself, and he goes down. That makes the fight a 5v4. Little V forced to use the Feather Storm early. They have to steal this Drake, but Kogri's not near enough. They give over the Infernal Soul, and in comes Minji into the backline. He's gonna snipe off Uniboy. He's still... he doesn't have the charge for the Shadow Search anymore, but it doesn't matter. Beyond Gaming has found the objective. They found the kills and the team fight, and now they're gonna run forward towards the Baron.
Oh my god, Beyond Gaming, they are just tooling J-Team on these objective fights. Yes, J-Team are able to find those instances where they are able to execute onto the backline, but when it comes to playing around the Dragon against this Varus, they just don't know how to play against it. They constantly take chip damage, and one of the big differences is their ability to also tank the Dragon. There's just so much more healing with the sustain coming in from the Lee Sin on that W, and also the durability of this Gragas. Whereas on the flip side, like Hecarim, when he starts taking that chip damage, unless he pops the W, which is also a long cooldown, he isn't able to get that HP back. They find Enzo at the start of this fight, and that's really just it, because Konya and Driver, they aren't set up to dive the backline. They're not in a good position for this fight. So when Enzo, really the only flank member, gets taken down, they don't have any engage left.
Yeah, that was such I would say a kind of a ridiculous play from Enzo. There was no way he could find that flank, and he didn't even try to vision clear that one. He just walked through double wards and sort of died. So very shocked at that outcome here. Beyond Gaming does manage to secure the Baron across, I believe, 5 different members here, and they are going to be pushing down onto the top side. J-Team, they are prompted to defend here. They will potentially leave Driver still pushing onto the bot lane. It looks like Beyond Gaming still will take 2 uncontested towers and take a decisive gold lead. The first time the gold lead has actually shifted decidedly into one team's favor.
Yeah, this is our first clear shift in the gold differential, and I feel like this J-Team game in game number 1 reminds me of the game that they had against PSG, where they had a scaling composition, they had big advantages, and then they tossed it all away at the Dragon because they just couldn't figure out how to set their composition up to succeed in these objective fights. And we're going down that same rabbit hole once more. J-Team, yes, they still have some scaling left, right? This Syndra pick still incredibly powerful, but against these Baron minions, it becomes a lot harder to clear out these minions. The backline dive has not been there. Now Driver goes for a 3rd item Hull Breaker, but with Hull Breaker, you want to be split pushing. He's not split pushing. And he doesn't have a set. And we might have lost Clement.
Oh, excuse me right there. I accidentally muted myself. Enzo just goes down like that. He doesn't get to use anything. Now Driver is on a one-man mission to get some gold back for the team. But Beyond Gaming are barreling down as 5. They have the Baron right here. Someone has to go back to defend, though. They're not really outpacing the Tryndamere on this one. But one more extra kill, and that just could be the game end. So J-Team have to play very careful. We have Konger in. This could be an engage opportunity. He's looking for the angle, but he's not going to find it just yet. Now, Driver on the flip side, is he going to go for the potential flank? Nah, he's just going to walk back and cut the minions.
Yeah, considered going for the long con there, but with the empowered recalls coming in from Beyond Gaming, it would have been very difficult for them to force the issue there. And J-Team, they honestly made the best option they could in that instance, right? You give yourself a bit of a win condition if you are able to win a decisive fight and the minion wave is set up mid. You will be able to just straight up win the game at that point because of that exposed inhibitor. However, at the same time, Beyond Gaming do get what they want in that bot in hit. So both sides kind of achieve their goals there, and now it comes down to this Elder fight that is going to be coming up in 90 seconds. Can J-Team fix their objective issues?
Find out in the next one, because so far J-Team's weaknesses throughout the entire split still seem to be there, and we do have Korea just getting caught out. The jungler is going to go down before anything even happens. Driver on the flank isn't able to find any damage onto Wako before he loses a member. And J-Team, they've just been bleeding out members left and right throughout this entire game. Beyond Gaming always find the pick somehow.
You know, on this combo of Nautilus and Varus, so oppressive, right? Wako's so good on this Varus pick, and Kino's there to accept the pass straight into the hook, and now it looks like they are on a clear path to end the game because they get the second inhib. Now you're going to get that second wave of super minions pouring through, and then they can turn their attention over to this Elder Dragon. There will be, or Konya will have respawn, so he will be able to make it for this fight, but they are setting up to try and collapse onto J-Team, perhaps pick them off as they make their way over to the Dragon.
J-Team have to go over, and Beyond Gaming are not going to give them the chance. They find Uniboy with the Shadow Surge. Kongri has to go for the backline. No other choice. Uniboy still falls down anyway, and so into the back, but they aren't able to kill Wako. Driver's still alive. Can he save this? No, he falls down, and Beyond Gaming get the ace in game 1. So many picks, so many catches. Beyond Gaming make a statement for themselves. The cleanest game they had so far in postseason, and they will draw first blood in this series from the lower bracket.
And J-Team woes continue, now down to 0-4 in their playoff performance with this new roster. Beyond Gaming, I feel like they stunned everyone with this game 1, and now J-Team fans have to be sent reeling here.
Wako is so damn happy about this performance. You could see him smiling all the way through. Even from the mask, you could tell how happy he was. This is the first time Beyond Gaming has actually taken down J-Team in the entire split. The head-to-head was 0-2.